Assalamualaikum and hi everyone, my name is Norfathini and today I'll present my research proposal entitled The Acceptance of Live Streaming Tour Among Baby Boomers. For the content of presentation, it will consist Chapter 1, Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. For Chapter 1 will be my background study, problem statement, significance of study, framework, RO and RQ. For Chapter 2, it will be I will just explain roughly about the variables of my study, and last but not least, Chapter 3, methodology. The unprecedented COVID-19 health crisis has brought the world to a standstill and affected all major economic sectors, including tourism industry. According to the World Travel and Tourism Council (WTTC), due to the losses and reduction, 75 million jobs are expected to be lost in 2020 from the tourism sector. People are scared to travel and they are prohibited to go to travel by the government itself. For example, Malaysia, we are not allowed to travel. Okay, so in order to escape, people are buying groceries online and people are working from home and they are basically staying at home. So in order to escape from the reality, to release stress, most people surf internet. Therefore, live streaming tour is introduced in order to people to explore during the pandemic and to avoid the tourism industry from dying. Tourism Australia has launched Live from Oz to live stream tourism experiences across social media channels. One of those hit the hardest is the tourism sector as a result of a lockdown, people cannot go out and borders closing and the global pandemic. Live streaming tour is introduced for the people to visit the place virtually. Currently, Malaysia targeted a high school student to join live streaming tour because of the history subject to make it more interesting and for the student to understand clearly about the history. But they abandon other generation. The size of the potential baby boomers market for the tourism and hospitality industry, it is essential to develop a capacity to analyze this group's consumption behavior. Conventional wisdom suggests that as a person gets older, they will be more averse as they become new to the new technology. There are two research questions in the study. What are the factors influence behavior intention of baby boomers accepting live streaming tour? And the second one is live streaming tour accepted by the baby boomers? Okay, for the research objective, the first one is to identify whether performance expectancy, affect expectancy, social influence, and facilitating condition affect behavior intention of baby boomers in accepting live streaming tour to travel. And the second one is to identify of the acceptance of live streaming tour among baby boomers. For the framework, I use a part of the Utah model by Venkatesh. There are 4 independent variables: performance expectancy (PE), effort expectancy (EE), social influence (SI), facilitating condition (FC), and the dependent variable behavioral intention to accept live streaming tour (BI). The hypothesis proposed in the study, basically there are 4. For H1, performance expectancy has a positive impact on the behavior intention of baby boomers in accepting live streaming tour. H2, effort expectancy has a positive impact of the behavioral intention of baby boomers in accepting live streaming tour. H3, social influence has a positive impact of the behavior intention of baby boomers in accepting live streaming tour. And last but not least, H4, facilitating condition has a positive impact on the behavioral intention for the baby boomers in accepting live streaming tour. The study is important, like I explained in the previous slide. Most of the hosts they focus on the group of students for the history subject. So this study helps to contribute in education since it interprets the information in a fun way to deliver message and educational information about the place. Sometimes the information gained from the live streaming tour, they cannot get it via the internet. Okay, the second one is influence baby boomers to visit the attraction or otherwise. Okay, there might be baby boomers that the place is interesting, so they want to visit the attraction one day, and sometimes they will say that I already joined live streaming to the attraction, and they find it is not interesting, so they do not want to visit the place. And then for the practical contribution, it the practical importance, it contribute to the heritage preservation and nature tourism. It can reduce the impact towards the historical site and the forest. And last but not least, it could help researchers, the main focus, app developer, future scholars, travel related organization, and even government departments to improve the tourism or related industry in innovating new product. The literature review, I will start with the coverage. So I will cover or for the hospitality industry. The location is actually it's for the baby boomers. So the location is local and international, no matter where the baby boomers are. And then the database used is Science Direct, MR Insight, WOS, Corpus, and even Google Scholar. The search engine that I use is Google, and the prominent areas cited is baby boomers and live streaming tour, and also virtual tour. And for the year range, I use 2003 for the revised literature, and for the supporting detail, I use within 5 years. 5 years meaning 2017 to 2021. Okay, for the variable, I will just explain roughly about the variable just on the surface. Okay, we'll start with the performance expectancy. Okay, performance expectancy is defined as an individual believes by using the device or the technology will help them to gain work efficiency. So in this case, it will help to increase efficiency for the baby boomers, like searching the live streaming tour, efficiency to use the internet, and then efficiency to join the live streaming tour. They will join via Zoom or via Google Classroom, or increase the efficiency to explore the website to book the live streaming tour. And then the second one is effort expectancy. Okay, effort expectancy is defined as the degree which associated with the ease of the consumers using the technology. Okay, in this case, we can say that the website is user friendly, or the platform to book the live streaming tour is user friendly, and it is easy for the baby boomers to book. Okay, and next, for the social influence. Okay, social influence is defined as the degree to which an individual perceives that important others believe he or she will use the new system. Okay, social influence including like their friends, their family, their relative, their children, like influence them to accept the live streaming tour. For the facilitating condition, FC. FC is a degree to which an individual believes that an organizational and technical infrastructure exists to support use of the system. Okay, in this study, facilitating condition, FC is like the smartphone itself to join live streaming tool, and then the internet connection and the place itself, it got internet or not. Okay, and then next, for the behavior intention. Okay, behavior intention is the person's subjective probability that that he or she will perform the behavior in question, meaning that all the factors, all the individual variable will influence the behavior intention for the baby boomers to accept the live streaming tour. And last but not least, PE to BI. PE to BI is the H1 that I proposed in the previous slide, where the PE posits positive relationship to behavior intention. EE to BI is my second hypothesis. EE posits a positive relationship towards behavior intention, and then my H3, my third hypothesis, SI to BI, social influence posits a positive relationship to behavior intention, and last but not least, my fourth hypothesis, H4, facilitating condition, FC, posits a positive relationship towards behavior intention. Okay, doctor, hang in there. I almost finished my slide. This is the last slide. So for the research design, why I choose quantitative approach, because the rationale for using questionnaire is because it is not costly, could be easily distributed as it is well distributed online, and most convenient way to collect data. A quantitative approach is considered the most suitable method to achieve the research objective of the study. Sample and population, my respondent is baby boomers. Baby boomers is a generation that born within 1946 to 1964. For example, my grandmother. She's 61 this year. And then next, Roscoe's, I will use Roscoe's guidelines for this research. Why? Because Roscoe proposed that a sample size greater than 30 and less than 500 is the suitable for most behavior studies. That's the first reason. And the second one is Roscoe also stated that for the comparative analysis, if the data set needs to be broken into several subgroups, for example, local, international, male, female, and etc., 30 respondents should be considered the minimum for each group. Because of why? Because when we are dealing with the baby boomers, it might be difficult for me to gain the data. And then I use purposive sampling. I will use purposive sampling. Why? Because I will select individual, which is the baby boomers, could be the typical cases who will provide rich and relevant information to learn more about the research objective. For the research instrumentation design, there will be two subtopics under this: data collection and survey instrument design. Okay, for the data collection, I will be used two methods: primary and secondary data. Primary is I will distribute the questionnaire online, and the second one is all the literature review, like I explained in the previous slide. I will use WOS, MRI Insight, Science Direct, and so on. For the instrument data, there will be 6 sections in the questionnaire. So A is for demographic sector, B is for PE, C is for EE, D is for SI, E is for facilitating condition, FC, and last but not least, F for behavioral intention. Okay, for the data analysis, I'll be use the familiar apps, the familiar software, which is SPSS. I will analyze the data, and then to measure the reliability of the questionnaire, I will use Cronbach Alpha. And for the demographic sector, I will use descriptive analysis. And last but not least, to analyze the hypothesis, each hypothesis, I will use Pearson correlation, as my research objective is to identify. Stay safe, and thank you so much for everything, doctor. Don't forget to take your medicine and supplement, and have a nice day.